I will call each meeting to order separately. Glenn will take roll each time, and then we will proceed with the rest of the agenda. In the case of the joint, we need to elect officers, and so only those people who are part of the joint committee can vote on that. And if they do Troy subcommittee stuff, only the Troy people can vote on that. Same is true for Southfield. So if everybody can keep that straight, I'm going to call the joint meeting to order at this time. Glenn, please take the roll.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Chair Robin Beltramini.
Here.
Vice Chair Fred Zorn.
Here.
Paul Hof.
I'm here.
Dan Hunter.
Here.
Austin Michaels.
Here.
Mike Ratcliffe.
Here.
Thank you. Nicholas Vitale.
Here.
Alternate Ethan Baker.
Here.
Alternate Ellen Hoderick.
Here.
We have a quorum.
All right, now we will call the Troy subcommittee meeting to order. Glenn, please take the roll.
Okay. Chair Robin Beltramini.
Here.
Paul Hof.
Here.
Dan Hunter.
Here.
Nicholas Vitale.
Here.
Ethan Baker, alternate.
Here.
Ellen Hoderick, alternate.
Here.
Thank you. We have a quorum for that as well.
All right, the first order of business on each meeting is to pass a resolution to have an electronic meeting. So the chair will entertain a motion first for the joint committee.
So moved. Second.
Okay. All right. It has been moved and seconded that we can to make a decision or deliberate toward a decision. Resolved that the Joint Local Development Finance Authority hereby establishes public participation to provide for methods by which members of the public can be heard by others during eligible virtual meetings. Email sent to economicdevelopment@troymi.gov and received by 9 a.m. on the day of the meeting will be read during public comment period of the meeting. Voicemail left at 248-524-3314 and received by 9 a.m. on the day of the meeting will be played during the public comment period of the meeting. Both email and voicemail public comments will be limited to 3 minutes each. All right. All those in favor, that would be Robin, Fred, Paul, Dan, Austin, Mike, and Rick. All those in favor say aye. You got to call the roll, Glenn. I can't ask them to say aye. You have to call the roll.
Correct. Chair Beltramini.
Yes.
Vice Chair Fred Zorn.
Yes.
Paul Hof.
Yes.
Dan Hunter, who's non-voting. Austin Michaels. Austin Michaels.
Yes.
Mike Ratcliffe.
Yes.
Nicholas Vitale.
Yes.
Alternate Ethan Baker.
Yes.
Alternate Ellen Hoderick.
Yes.
Motion passes.
Motion passes. So now let us do the electronic for the other as well. Chair will entertain a motion for electronic convening of this meeting. Please. Someone from the Troy subcommittee vote put this motion forward.
I move.
Thank you, Nick. I need a second.
I'll support. Second.
Thank you. right, it has been duly moved and seconded that resolved that the Troy Local Development Finance Authority Troy Subcommittee hereby allows all members to participate in public meetings by electronic means as allowed by Public Act 228 of 2020. Since an in-person meeting could detrimentally increase the exposure of board members and the general public to COVID-19, and realize of the recent Michigan Department of Health and Human Services epidemic orders protecting public health and safety. Members participating will be considered present and in attendance at the meeting and may participate in the meeting as if physically present. However, members must avoid using email, texting, and other such electronic forms of communication to make a decision or to deliberate toward a decision. Resolved that the Troy Local Development Finance Authority Troy Subcommittee hereby establishes public participation rules to provide for two methods by which members of the public can be heard by others during eligible virtual meetings. Email sent to economicdevelopment@troy.mi.gov and received by 9 a.m. on the public comment period of the meeting. Voicemail left at 248-524. 14 and received by 9 a.m. on the day of the meeting will be played during the public comment period of the meeting. Both email and voicemail public comments will be limited to 3 minutes each. All members of the Troy Subcommittee, Glenn, please call the roll.
Chair Beltramini,
Yes.
Paul Hof,
Yes.
Nicholas Vitale,
Yes.
alternate Ethan Baker,
Yes.
alternate Ellen Hoderick.
Yes.
Motion passes.
The Joint Committee has to elect officers before we can approve minutes and do all those other things. So, we have, Glenn, which officers do we have? We have a chair, vice chair, and secretary, is that right?
Correct.
Anybody got any ideas? You want to tell who's in those positions now? Me, Fred, and Nick, I think.
It's Robin, Nick. I'm vice chair, Robin is chair, and Glenn is secretary treasurer from what I see in the minutes.
That's the Troy Subcommittee. I think
Okay.
me and then Fred, and you may be secretary.
Okay.
Of which
I don't see that.
No, we didn't get that paperwork this time.
This is for the joint committee only, the election of officers.
Right.
Correct.
All right. Fred, are you going to serve again? Do you want to be chair?
Fred, are you on mute?
No, was that question to Fred Zorn?
Yes. You're the vice chair now.
I'm sorry, Robin, one more time.
We have to elect officers, Fred. You're the voter. Or do you want someone else to do this?
I'd rather someone else be chair.
Okay. I will be chair for another year, if that satisfies everybody.
I'll nominate Robin then.
Then yourself.
Fred, will you stay as
Vice chair.
Okay. Do we have to elect a secretary, Maury? What, Glenn, somebody?
I believe Glenn was it previously, I believe.
Happy to do it again unless Shelley would like it, or
Sorry, doesn't want it. All right, so the motion has been made by Fred. It needs a second.
Second.
Nick says that we will continue with the officers we have. Roll call vote, please, Glenn.
Chair Beltramini,
Yes.
Vice Chair Fred Zorn,
Yes.
Paul Hof,
Yes.
Austin Michaels,
Yes.
Mike Ratcliffe,
Yes.
Nicholas Vitale,
Yes.
alternate Ethan Baker,
Yes.
alternate Alan Hoderick.
Yes.
Motion passes.
Okay. As long as the Historical Joint Committee, I did not get a copy of the October 21st, 2019 minutes, but I know that others did. So the chair would entertain a motion to approve those or have them amended.
So moved approval of the minutes?
Who needs a second?
Second.
Thanks, Tim.
Who moved and who seconded? Excuse me.
Nick.
Okay.
Nick seconded.
Yep.
Who made the motion?
Fred.
Brett? Great. Thank you.
It's moved and seconded that we approve those minutes from a year ago. All those in favor? Tell Glenn.
Chair Beltramini,
Yes.
Paul Hof,
Yes.
Austin Michaels,
Yes.
Mike Ratcliffe,
Yes.
Nicholas Vitale,
Yes.
Fred Zorn,
Yes.
alternate Ethan Baker,
Yes.
alternate Alan Hoderick.
Yes.
Motion carries. You're on mute, Madam Chair.
Again. We will now call on the Trail Subcommittee people to approve their minutes from June 4th. Motion.
So moved.
Thank you. No amendments? Glenn?
Chair Beltramini,
Yes.
Paul Hof,
Yes.
Nicholas Vitale,
Yes.
alternate Ethan Baker,
Yes.
alternate Alan Hoderick.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Okay. There is no business on the agenda. Did anybody think of any? Great.
No.
Now we can begin learning from each other and from Tom Kelly. So, who wants to give the Southfield update?
Hi, this is Rochelle Freeman.
You go.
First, I'd like to thank Glenn and Mark and Madam Chair for organizing this meeting. We really appreciate it. The city of Southfield has been very busy. We've had a couple of new larger tenants move into our SmartZone district. Veoneer had consolidated their operations last year. They're a tier 1 auto supplier, and they built, they recently expanded. So they have around 850 employees at their location. Federal Mogul, which was purchased by Tenneco, decided to keep all of their employees. They divided their company up into 2 divisions, Tenneco and then a company called Drive, and they decided to keep all of their tenants again at their current location in the former Blue Cross Blue Shield property. So that was great news for us. And that building had also recently been purchased by Friedman Real Estate, and they rebranded the complex. We still have, as our city assessor, who's staring at me right now, knows, we have a significant amount of available space in that area, but we have had some nice success, so that was really great news. And then I just wanted to share a little bit about Centropolis Accelerator. Over the term of them being in business, they've had 40 significant clients with a total of 436 employees During the last year, these companies have hired 130 new employees and retained 304 jobs. The average salary is $40,144. They've raised $143.7 million in capital. They've produced 143 products that they've commercialized, 61 patents filed to date. They've had 71 trademarks, licensed joint venture, joint development, and commercial agreements. They've had 57 of those, and they've had 121 contracts to Michigan suppliers over the last 6 months. So it's really been phenomenal. They've also been engaged with a wide range of companies. 9 of the businesses are, a diverse population of entrepreneurs. 9 have been African Americans. 9 are women owned. 9 are other minorities. 21 of the companies are founded by persons that are 50 years or older. 3 have veterans as part of their management team. One of the management teams has a person with disabilities. 12 are founded, again, they receive money from the state of Michigan. 12 of them are housed in Wayne County, and 5 founders are residents of City Detroit or Hamtramck or Highland Park. So we have a nice array of businesses that we've been helping. Again, they're happy to help with people around the metro area, around the state, and they do a significant amount of work with Automation Alley. I'm not sure if they're going to be on the call or not, but our Centropolis has been working with a Jackson accelerator as well to do Industry 4.0 work, and so they've been busy with that too. So that's my report. If anyone else from the city of Southfield would like to contribute anything. Fred?
Shelley, very thorough report. I have nothing to add. Thank you.
You've been doing great things, and Tom Kelly is shaking his head throughout your presentation. I was watching him, he was like, oop, I can't tell about that, oop, I can't tell about that. So,
We are good friends and allies with Centropolis, for sure.
that's great.
And I do have to say, one of our favorite companies has been working with Glenn. They're moving to the city of Troy. Inner Cells, they found a space. Sean, she does battery work. And so we're thrilled that she found a location. It was very challenging for her to find enough power to do her technology. And so they signed a lease in Troy, and I know Glenn's been working with her, so.
But that sounds like an excellent segue. Glenn, are you and Mark going to talk about Troy?
Sure, I will. In Tom Kelly's report, he'll go into details on Automation Alley and all the great things they are doing, which is a major component, obviously, of the Troy SmartZone. With the city of Troy, we have completed phase 1 of the parking improvements for Automation Alley. That has been completed and done and paid for a year ago. We have entered into phase 2. Phase 2 has now been completed. Unfortunately, with probably a few underground issues that we were not necessarily anticipating when we first embarked on this project. But we will be working closely with Automation Alley in terms of reimbursement on that. We have an infrastructure line item where we are there to support infrastructure improvements within the area, which is where the phase 1 improvements came from. Phase 2 will also be paid in part up to the limit that we have allowed and allotted for improvements on phase 2 as well. And I know that there will be phase 3 coming as well to complete the project. So that's exciting because they were much needed improvements. And as we can tell, there were some subsurface issues that actually led to some of those issues early on. So those will be corrected, which is good. Additional infrastructure work that is being contemplated in the SmartZone is along Bellingham. There'll be improvements scheduled for the entryway off the Big Beaver, and then just to the south of Automation Alley's entrance to help complete the improvements along Bellingham, which is also much needed for that area. We've also been working with Altair. Altair, major company, here in the SmartZone. They have a proposal to expand their operations, to create a new campus on the site. There is extra land available over there. Unfortunately, I think with many projects that we have seen during the pandemic, it has certainly impacted the progress in terms of the planning and going forward on that. But I know it is still a live project, and I think they'll get over those humps as soon as we all get over the humps of what we're all going through. So, but that's something that is certainly, I think, has impacted that project and other development projects that we have seen throughout the city. Mark, I don't know if you want to add anything else, but that's kind of a quick update. NBS Commercial, which is next door to Automation Alley, just to their south. They've completely renovated, beautiful facility, and they've expanded as well into the back. So they have close to about 100 employees or so, and they're doing great work on commercial interiors. They do a lot of work throughout the region. Mark, go ahead.
Thank you, Glenn. The only thing I would add is our management team is watching closely vacancies and then the potential effect on property values, and how that would affect our revenues, both in LDFA, the downtown development. At this point, it hasn't been negative, but we're watching it closely.
Well, thank you, gentlemen. Now, Tom, tell us what you know. And welcome. Thanks for joining us.
Yeah, well, thanks for having me, Madam Chair. Thank you so much to everybody on both committees, the joint committees. We have a great relationship, and I have to say, especially to the city of Troy, the help we've received in the last 2 years for our infrastructure improvements. I can't thank you enough, especially in this sort of time of COVID where it would have been unattainable for us had we not had that kind of support. But it was you have to come over, see our parking lot. It's beautiful. So we're very, very appreciative, and it's important that we have that kind of look when people come to see us. We have a great building. People still comment on how cutting edge and forward looking this building. You need to remember this was built in 2004, so there was a lot of prescient thought that went into this building, and it still does not show its age at all. It still looks like it was just built and very forward. There's one thing, if you'll indulge me, I'd like to talk about one project we're doing that I think will be very excited for everyone on this call. So because of the Federal CARES Act, we worked with Oakland County, and we received a grant of $10 million from Oakland County to help small manufacturers. And it was specifically around helping those small manufacturers be a part of the PPE crisis, being able to help provide PPE in a time of crisis. So stick with me on this. So everybody knows that by the time we get all this project in, no one's going to have a PPE crisis, right? It's going to be PPE coming out the ears. What we did was we said, what if we gave small manufacturers 3D printers where you can make anything for any crisis that could happen? And by doing so, you actually teach them how to come into the fourth industrial revolution, how to understand the disruptive forces that are at work in their businesses when they worry every day about how to get a subtractive assembly line moving at its best efficiency. And they're not necessarily paying attention that there's a technology coming on their flank that could completely obsolete all the capital investments they have made on the subtractive manufacturing side. So we are in the process of buying and distributing 300 3D printers for any manufacturer that can qualify. They have to be a small manufacturer. So I could use your help. If you know anybody in the community that we're not reaching, it's hard to get small manufacturers to pay attention because their head is down every day. And even though Automation Alley is here, they're just not paying attention. So we have about 200 printers committed. We have headroom for another 100. Well, I would love to get them all delivered in Troy, in Southfield. I would be delighted. And here's the kicker. So we're going to distribute all these printers. These are, by the way, these are marked forged printers. They are production part ready. In other words, they produce material that has the strength of aluminum. If you ever hear a report of a Navy ship printing a part on the ship in the middle of the Indian Ocean, that's a marked forged printer. So if you think, we didn't buy little hobbyist printers. These are $25,000, $30,000 printers that are getting shipped to 300 smalls. At the same time, we are in the process right now of building a blockchain network that will connect up all 300 of these smalls in a network that is perfectly safe and secure and trustworthy. Blockchain is the technology that Bitcoin uses in the finance community to have an alternate currency. In our case, we're using blockchain to build a network. What that will mean is we will be able to have all 300 manufacturers behave as if they were one large tier one. So they can breathe with the market, and we can have one part made on one printer, or we can have one part made on 300 printers all day long, all week long. That's the power of a network. So we can, if this project is successful, we will be able to produce anything that can be made on a 3D printer. Anything in the world. And by the way, these 3D printers get more and more sophisticated, and more things are being able to be made on them. So I don't want that lost on anybody, that by stitching them all together, that is what we believe is unique in the world. I don't think there's anybody in the world that is taking 300 printers in close geographic proximity, not distributed all over the world, because then how do you aggregate it and behave as a large tier one? But by putting them all within one community, which is Oakland County, and stitching them all together through this blockchain, which is unique, we believe we might be first in the world. And so we believe it's our duty that if we created the second industrial revolution with Henry Ford, and we dominated the third with robots and computers, we need to do something that puts our flag in the ground in Michigan that says, by damn, we're going to dominate the fourth too. And that has pretty deep implications for how we compete on the world stage with global manufacturing centers like China and Mexico. If you have a 3D printer in Troy or Southfield, or you have a 3D printer in Mexico, it's the same underlying cost and intellectual property. Therefore, you produce where you consume. And so this has deep implications for the reshuffling of supply chains over the long term. So we're very, very proud of this program. It is so exciting because I want you to understand how cutting edge this is and how proud I think you can be of what Automation Alley is doing these days to help our manufacturing community regain their competitive swagger on the global stage. So there's no guarantee. In fact, I can guarantee that we will have fits and starts with this community, but everybody I talk to in the manufacturing community is so excited about what's being done. They get it. They understand that the power of this community and helping each other and learning about how to make things. They're already talking about having Fridays where they come to Automation Alley and they say, look what I made. Oh, well, I can do it, because we will have a 3D printer, same as they use, in our atrium now. And they will be able to come in and see how things are made. So we're pretty darn excited about it. And I thank you for indulging me Madam Chairman, for speaking so long, but thank you so much, and thank you for everything you guys do. And this is the fruits of this labor, this 20-year experiment in Automation Alley. I believe we could be on the verge of breaking out. And I told you last time that we are now a partner with the World Economic Forum on the global stage, still the only one in North America. They are deeply interested in what we're doing. And we believe we will have a global stage to tell our story when the time is right. And so anybody in BizDev, keep your schedule free, because we might be able to fill it with people that want to come to Southeast Michigan. That's our whole intent. I'll stop there.
No, if you've got more to tell, you feel free to tell, because it's all good news. I mean, and that is the DNA of Automation Alley, being on the cutting edge of so many things that keep us in that global market. So we're excited right along with you, to be sure. Anybody want to pick Tom's brain as long as he's here? You were just so informative.
I've answered every question that I've done. Well,
No, I mean, and it's funny, I saw both Shelley and Glenn making notes when you said you had 100 more printers. Still like, oh, I can contact this person and this person and this person. So that's all of us. Yeah.
Madam Chairwoman, this is a gift to the community. It would be a shame if someone said, why didn't you tell me about this? I had no idea that I could get a free 3D printer. And by the way, it includes all the costs to warranty it. It includes all the costs to be trained on it. Everything is included. There's not like you get a box. You get 3 years of service associated with this. And the community itself of your peers that also got one that have never used one before. And that's comforting to a lot of these manufacturers, that they're kind of learning together. They're not intimidated because they're all sort of going themselves. And by the way, the requirement of the grant is they become the teachers to the next group that we might not be able to buy a printer for them, but they will feel the power of say, hey, I got to come on board with this. We have to get our smalls to understand this new technology and really embrace it.
They get it, but they have to pay it forward. So,
They have to pay it forward. Mm-hmm.
Paul, you got your mic on. Does that mean that you want to ask something? Talk.
Yeah, just very quickly, Tom, what are some basic qualifications if we have somebody who may be interested, and should they contact you directly? So,
Yes, there's very, very little qualifications, Paul. They have to be in manufacturing, right? And we're not even tightly defining that, but you have to be in manufacturing and in business before COVID struck. You have to have been impacted by COVID, which is a low hurdle. You know, everybody's been impacted by COVID. And you have to be under 500 employees. We would prefer under 200 employees because we really want to get the smalls. If you have 500 employees, you probably have enough capital that a $25,000 printer is not all that exciting to you. The learning might be very exciting, right, but the capital isn't that exciting. So we really want to get this to the smalls. But the federal government definition, so we have to be careful that we're not exclusionary. The federal government definition is 500 employees or less. So, and that's pretty much the entire criteria right there.
Terrific. And then did they contact you directly as far as an interest?
Yes, if they go to automationalley.com, they can sign up for the grant. And it says, I'm a manufacturer or I'm not a manufacturer, but I think I can help. Because we have a lot of people that just are so darn excited they want to join the community, and we give them ways to help.
Madam
Chair, this is the second time you've had the mic line.
I have a flyer of this information. I'll share it with Glenn, and he can share it with the rest of the committee.
Thanks. Dan?
Yes, just real quick, Tom, we have sent a lot of small tool and die shops and trying to get them interested. So we're going to continue to do that. You should also mention this isn't just in Oakland County. I mean, the dollars that we have shared are Oakland County, but Macomb also advanced a couple of $1 million. So this is a regional effort of both Oakland and Macomb to try to drive these smaller companies. And I think it'll really help them with some of their customers that they supply that are tier one in various industries. So just taking the opportunity to use a crisis and try to help some of these manufacturers. So kudos to Automation Alley and Tom and the whole team.
Thank you. Yeah, I don't bring up Macomb because they're actually oversubscribed. They gave us they piggybacked on the Oakland County grant for $2 million for 50 manufacturers, and we already have about 60, 70 at Macomb. So we're fully subscribed. But Oakland, because it was so bold and the rate that Sean wanted to get was so large, we still have quite a bit to fill because it's hard to get their attention. They're very much head down right now.
Yeah, Tom, I was just going to say that Dom Holmes from Oakland County and I've been working with a Troy company, a medical supply company, who's extremely excited about this. They're in the orthotics and prosthetics manufacturing, and the capability, when you start talking about 3D printing in that realm, I mean, it's just phenomenal. I mean, in terms of the kind of efficiencies that can be created with it. So there's a lot of excitement, particularly in that medical supply realm for 3D printing. This would be a great program. Thank you.
So Glenn and Madam Chair, we give them an excuse to play. In other words, no one can justify 25 grand investment to learn and play. But if we say we're going to take that off the table and here, take your printer, it gives them an excuse to just play, to just learn, to just see, hey, what could I do? And that will spark that seed of innovation. We're sure of it. And people will be so darn excited about what they can do. And we think this will seed the community and forever change the community and how they pursue. We think it's enough capacity here that it will forever change the community when we get this implemented.
The coffee cup on my desk says, dream great dreams and make them come true. And that's what you're doing for those small manufacturers. It really is. And we thank you for it because small business is the engine of America. So
I agree.
there is that piece of it. Okay, those are the updates. Okay. We have meeting schedules for both groups. So, as is my practice today, we'll take the meeting schedule for the joint meeting first. That's just a point of information. October of 2021, October 25th. That's the last Monday in October next year. And for the Troy group, it is next April, the 26th, and again, October 25th. So, we now have board member comments if anyone has anything that they would like to say.
Madam Chair, I think we're going to need a motion on the schedule for next year.
You think we need to vote on that? Okay.
I have a question before we vote.
Please.
Will the COVID crisis be over by then?
Maybe not by April.
Just trying to add a little humor.
Yeah. Well, we can all wear masks. No matter where it is.
Yeah. I move that we approve the dates.
All right. So, you want to make both motions, Nick?
I move that we approve the date in April, and I move that we approve the date in October.
Okay. Glenn?
Second.
Okay. Thank you.
Who seconded?
Paul?
Paul.
Since both dates are in the motion, let's do the Troy committee first. Do you have to roll call that?
Yep. Chair Beltramini?
Yes.
Paul Hof?
Shake your head, Paul.
Paul?
Paul, you have to vote.
Sorry, yes.
Austin Michaels?
He's gone. Oh, no, he's there.
Austin?
Oh, he's here.
Thank
Wait,
you.
I thought this was the Troy vote.
It was.
Oh, I'm doing all.
I mean, I'm in full support, but
Okay.
yes.
Can do them all and we'll just sort them out.
I can separate it out in the minutes. It's fine.
Okay, that's fine then. Just do them all.
Mike Rackleft,
Yes.
Nicholas Vitale,
Yes, I approve both.
Brett Zorn,
Yes.
Ethan Baker, alternate.
Yes.
Ellen Hodder, alternate.
Yes.
Motion carries. And motion carries for the committee, subcommittee as well.
Thank you. Board member comments? Dan?
Just real quick, as many of you know, we do a lot of business retention, expansion, and also attraction with our partners, both at the state level and at the Detroit regional level and on our own. A lot of that, the travel has totally dropped off. We're trying to do some things virtually, but it's problematic. However, we're seeing a pretty decent amount of activity from companies that are getting us on the initial list to consider to come to this area. I'm surprised at how active it's been. Some that are coming directly to us, and then others with our partners both at the state and regional level. So by any stretch of imagination, the economy is not dead. Some of these are fairly significant with 150 to 200, 300,000 square foot users, particularly on the manufacturing side. So we're sharing that information with our development community and encouraging them to get going with spec buildings or picking up buildings and renovating them. So the economy is strong there. And then the other thing that we've done since about the 1st of April is provide a lot of grant funding to smaller businesses with general fund money of Oakland County a little bit, but also some money from MEDC and our state partners, and then also CARES Act. Some $30 to $32 million have gone to very small businesses that have applied around Oakland County. So we never thought we'd be in that business, Oakland, but we're happy to have done that in small amounts of $5,000, $10,000 to $20,000. So we hope to get back our regular business of business counseling and other stuff, working with our partners. So just an update from the county. That's it.
Thank you. That's terrific. Anybody else? Okay. Glenn, did we get any public comments?
There was no public comment received.
Thank you. And absent any further comment, we will adjourn this meeting.
Thank you.
Thank you.